God, here we are. We're in Burwood again. We come down under command of God to go out into all the world and preach the gospel. So we're not out in all the world, but we're all over Sydney as much as possible. Because we believe that time is short. We believe that Jesus may be coming very, very soon. Nobody knows the day or the hour, but we believe that he's not too far away when you look at the signs and the things that are happening in the world. But we are under command to go out and preach the gospel. We cannot save anybody, only Jesus. We cannot do it, but we can be available to God. We're very privileged to be used by God to join with him in this great commission of going into all the world. So we come out here, our job is to preach the gospel. Unless people hear, how can they believe? And how can they hear unless somebody comes out and does it? So we feel burdened and commissioned to come out and do this, to preach the gospel every day, and to see people born again of the Spirit of God. It's all about God. Every salvation is a miracle of God. Nothing that we can do. As I said, we cannot save anybody, only God. We cannot draw anybody, only God. We cannot close the deal, or whatever people might like to call it, in getting people to agree for Jesus in their heart. It's something between them and God, but there must be somebody to facilitate, somebody to administer, somebody to lead people in prayer. So that's it today, people. I'm telling you now that we're out here preaching the gospel. We're out here for people. And it amazes me that so many people walk by as if this means absolutely nothing. And I don't understand why that is. And it breaks my heart at times to see people. But it's not really my business. We're out here to do the job for God. It's his business and his domain, his sovereign grace, that he saves people. So I was thinking about it. I found a quote by, I think it was R.C. Sproul, and it was a very pertinent quote to what we're talking about today, about God and his sovereignty. We don't understand the workings of God. We can't pretend to understand the ways of God, because his ways are high above the heavens. His ways are higher than our ways. And we don't understand. Not all has been revealed to us, even in the Bible. It is the revealed will of God, but it's not the total will of God. So here, I'm going to read this quote because I think it's very pertinent. Then we're going to continue to speak about Jesus, speak about salvation, but that's why we're here. So the quote is this. It says, if someone were to ask me why I'm in the faith, and why I'm in the kingdom, and some of my friends are not, I can only say that I don't know. But this much I do know. It is not something I did to deserve it. It is not some condition I met in my flesh. The only answer I can give is the grace of God. And if you ask me, why does he give that grace to me and not to somebody else? And if I begin to give an answer that suggests it was something good in me that he perceived, I would no longer be talking about his grace. I would be talking about some good thing that I did. That was the basis for God to save me. But I don't have anything like that to offer. If the Bible teaches anything over and over and over again, it is that salvation is of the Lord. So that's it, people. Think about this. There is nothing that we have done as human beings to deserve to be saved from eternal hellfire. We all sin. The Bible says that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All of us deserve punishment for sin. But God in his grace and mercy, we've said it so many times out here, God intervened. The Son of God, Jesus, became the Son of Man, Jesus, in the womb of Mary. He lived, he walked this earth, he breathed the air that we breathe. He was tempted in every way that we were, yet without sin. And he paid the supreme sacrifice of his very life, his human life, to pay for sin, to take the iniquity of us all upon himself. He went to the cross. He knew why he came. He did not back off from that commission, that responsibility. And we thank God that he didn't, because all of